beautiful beaches, glamorous big cities, and Hollywood. That is the image most people have when they think about California. But far beyond the glitter of Los Angeles or the fast pace of San Francisco, the state hides a much stranger side. Scattered across California are small towns that feel like entirely different worlds. Some are desert communities that live almost completely outside government systems. Others are towns filled with stories of UFO sightings and mysterious spiritual energy. There is even a town that intentionally hides itself from maps to avoid attracting tourists. Today, we are exploring 15 of the strangest towns in California. If there is one place in California that truly feels like another planet, it is Slab City. Located deep in the Imperial Valley Desert near the Salton Sea, this community is often called the last free place in America. There is no city government, no official public services, and no connection to the main electrical grid or water systems. The name Slab City comes from the massive concrete slabs left behind when the old Camp Dunlap military base was abandoned after World War II. What makes this place truly unusual is the people who choose to live there. The year-round population is only a few hundred residents, though in winter, it can grow to around 2,000 temporary inhabitants. They come from many backgrounds: desert artists, RV nomads, survivalists, and people who deliberately want to live outside conventional society. Despite the harsh desert landscape, Slab City is filled with eccentric art. Its most famous landmark is Salvation Mountain, a massive, colorful hill painted with religious messages by artist Leonard Knight over several decades. The structure has become one of the most recognizable outsider art installations in the United States. Along the eastern edge of the Salton Sea sits a small town that often looks like a scene from a post-apocalyptic movie. Bombay Beach was not always this quiet. During the 1950s, it was once a popular vacation resort in California. Everything changed when the Salton Sea began experiencing severe environmental damage. The water became increasingly salty, millions of fish died, and a powerful smell began spreading across the region. Tourism collapsed, hotels closed, and most residents eventually left the town. Strangely, this near-abandoned place began attracting artists instead. Unusual art installations now appear throughout the town, and each year it hosts the Bombay Beach Biennale, an experimental art festival that transforms the area into a surreal outdoor gallery in the middle of the desert. Several hundred miles to the north, a small mountain town is famous for something even more mysterious. At the base of the towering volcanic peak of Mount Shasta sits a quiet town that many consider one of the most mystical places in America. With a population of around 7,000 residents, Mount Shasta appears at first glance to be a peaceful mountain community surrounded by forests and dramatic scenery. But its reputation is far from ordinary. For decades, the town has attracted spiritual seekers, cosmic energy enthusiasts, and people fascinated by paranormal phenomena. Many believe the mountain emits powerful spiritual energy. Stories about UFO sightings, hidden dimensional portals, and beings connected to the legendary lost civilization of Lemuria are often repeated in local lore. Downtown shops specialize in metaphysical items such as crystals, spiritual books, and meditation tools. Spiritual retreats and energy workshops are also regularly held in the area, giving the town an atmosphere unlike almost anywhere else in California. Located in Humboldt County near the Pacific Coast, Ferndale is often called the Victorian Village. This small town, with a population of around 1,300 people, is famous for its beautifully preserved Victorian architecture along Main Street. Many homes and shops in the downtown area still maintain intricate 19th century design details filled with decorative ornaments and colorful facades. Ferndale grew rapidly in the late 1800s thanks to the booming dairy industry in the fertile Eel River Valley. The wealth generated from local dairy farms allowed business owners to build large and elaborate homes, many of which still define the town's appearance today. Even though it may look like a typical historic town, the atmosphere in Ferndale often feels a little unusual, almost as if time itself paused during the Victorian era. Deep in the quiet Mojave Desert, not far from the Nevada border, sits Nipton, a desert town whose population barely reaches a few dozen people. The settlement was founded in the early 20th century as a railroad stop and a small service hub for miners working in the surrounding region. What makes Nipton truly strange is its unusual ownership history. Unlike most small towns, Nipton has been purchased several times by investors with rather eccentric visions. At one point, after cannabis legalization in California, there were even plans to transform the entire town into a futuristic community centered around the legal cannabis industry. Those plans never fully materialized, but the story only added to Nipton's reputation as a small town with a very unusual past. Today, only a handful of old buildings remain, along with a small hotel and endless stretches of desert that make Nipton feel like a forgotten urban experiment. The journey continues to a town that is slightly larger, yet still carries a distinct desert strangeness. Located near the edge of Joshua Tree National Park, Twentynine Palms is often considered one of the most unusual desert towns in California. With a population of roughly 25,000 people, the city originally developed around the Marine Corps Air Ground Combat Center. Twentynine Palms, one of the largest Marine training bases in the world. But beyond its military influence, the town also has a much more creative side. The dramatic desert landscape attracts artists, photographers, and creators who seek inspiration from the quiet atmosphere of the Mojave. Throughout the city, large murals and public art installations appear on walls and buildings, giving Twentynine Palms the feeling of an open-air art gallery in the middle of the desert. With a population of about 18,000 people, Arcata is a college town that serves as the home of Cal Poly Humboldt. The presence of the university gives this small city on California's northern coast a very different atmosphere compared to neighboring towns. Arcata is widely known for its progressive culture and strong counterculture community. Since the 1960s, the area has attracted artists, environmental activists, and alternative communities seeking a freer lifestyle surrounded by the towering redwood forests. The heart of the town's activity is Arcata Plaza, a small central square that regularly hosts farmers markets, street musicians, and occasional social demonstrations. Nearby is the Arcata Marsh and Wildlife Sanctuary, a unique environmental project that combines a wastewater treatment system with a thriving wildlife habitat, making it both an ecological innovation and a popular nature destination. Next is Nevada City, one of the best preserved towns from the California Gold Rush era. During the mid-19th century, thousands of miners flooded the region searching for gold, turning the town into one of the busiest mining hubs in the state. When the gold rush eventually ended, Nevada City did not disappear like many other mining towns. Instead, it slowly evolved into a small but vibrant arts community. Today, with a population of around 3,000 residents, its downtown is filled with art galleries, vintage shops, and cozy cafes that give the town a strong creative and bohemian atmosphere. Throughout the year, unique events take place here, including the Wild and Scenic Film Festival and the Summer Night Street Music Festival, where the entire downtown transforms into an open-air celebration of art and culture. Not far from Palm Springs lies Desert Hot Springs, one of the most unusual spa towns in California. The city sits above natural mineral hot springs that have long been believed to have therapeutic benefits. Because of this, numerous spa resorts began appearing in the area during the early 20th century. What makes the town feel slightly different is the spiritual culture that has developed around it. Many small resorts and retreat centers offer meditation programs, yoga sessions, and energy healing practices that attract visitors from across the country. Alternative lifestyle communities and people pursuing holistic living have also settled in this desert city. With a population of around 30,000 residents, desert hot springs might appear to be just another spa destination. Yet the combination of desert landscapes, natural hot springs, and spiritual culture gives the city a distinctive atmosphere compared to other desert towns across California. Continuing along the Northern California coastline, there is Point Arena. With a population of fewer than 500 people, Point Arena is one of the smallest incorporated cities in the entire state. It sits along the rugged coast of Mendocino County, facing the vast Pacific Ocean, where thick fog and powerful waves are a constant presence. Despite its tiny size, Point Arena has a surprisingly distinctive community. Many artists, musicians, and environmental activists have chosen to live here, creating a relaxed coastal atmosphere with a slightly bohemian spirit. The downtown area consists of only a few short blocks filled with art galleries, small local shops, and simple cafes. One of the most famous landmarks nearby is the Point Arena Lighthouse, a tall beacon that has stood on the cliffs above the Pacific since the late 19th century. From the lighthouse, visitors can witness dramatic ocean views stretching far across the horizon. Located in a beautiful valley in Ventura County, Ojai is often considered one of the most spiritual towns in California. With a population of around 7,500 residents, the town is surrounded by the rolling Tapatopa Mountains, which are known for a natural phenomenon called the pink moment. At sunset, the mountain peaks glow with a soft pink color as the sunlight reflects across the landscape. Since the early 20th century, Ojai has attracted artists, writers, and people searching for a quieter lifestyle. The town has also become a hub for meditation retreats, yoga gatherings, and spiritual workshops that bring visitors from across the United States. One of the most well-known locations in the area is the historic Ojai Valley Inn, a resort that frequently hosts wellness and health retreats. About an hour north of San Francisco lies Bolinas, perhaps one of the most unusual small towns in California. With a population of roughly 1,000 people, this coastal community has developed a very unusual reputation. Locals are known for repeatedly removing or hiding road signs that point toward their town. This unofficial tradition has reportedly existed for decades. Residents do it to discourage large numbers of tourists from discovering the town and overwhelming their small community. As a result, many first-time visitors have difficulty finding Bolinas, even though it is located relatively close to the Bay Area. Beyond its secretive reputation, Bolinas is home to a vibrant community of artists, writers, and musicians. Small houses overlook the Pacific Ocean, and the entire town carries a relaxed, slightly bohemian atmosphere that reflects the creative spirit of its residents. Located along the Sacramento-San Joaquin River Delta, Locke is a small town that feels like a living time capsule. With a population of only a few dozen residents, it is known as the only historic town in the United States that was entirely built by a Chinese immigrant community in the early 20th century. The town was founded in 1915 by Chinese immigrants who lost their homes after a devastating fire destroyed their previous settlement in the Delta region. Determined to rebuild their lives, they constructed Locke with rows of two-story wooden buildings that still stand today. Walking along Main Street feels like stepping back in time. Many of the historic structures once served as herbal shops, gambling halls, and boarding houses for agricultural workers who labored in the Delta's farms and waterways. Next is Willits, often called the gateway to the redwoods. With a population of about 5,000 people, the town may appear at first like a typical small Northern California community. But beneath its quiet surface, Willits has developed a reputation for having a strong counterculture spirit. Beginning in the 1960s and 1970s, the area attracted alternative communities, artists, and people seeking a slower, more relaxed lifestyle surrounded by the towering redwood forests. Local art markets, small festivals, and community gatherings remain a regular part of life here. One of Willits' most famous attractions is the historic skunk train, a scenic railway that has operated since the late 19th century and carries visitors through the dramatic redwood landscapes of Northern California. Finally, there is Solvang, a small town famous for its strong Danish influence. The town was founded in 1911 by a group of Danish immigrants who wanted to create a new community in California that preserved their cultural traditions. Even today, that identity remains deeply visible throughout the town. The streets of downtown Solvang are lined with buildings inspired by traditional Danish architecture, featuring distinctive roof designs, decorative windmills, and bakeries selling classic pastries such as æbleskiver. Several buildings are even designed to resemble small village houses found in Denmark. With a population of around 6,000 people, Solvang has grown into one of California's most unique tourist destinations. Danish cultural festivals, local history museums, and traditional restaurants give the town the feeling of a small piece of Scandinavia placed right in the heart of California.